Day 7. Mary, Woman of Silence. Mary is a woman gathered in God, but not isolated from men, their lives and their history. She is in silence because she is in permanent and cordial listening to the Word of God and the words of men. Her silence makes possible her listening and her discernment in order to identify among the many words the one that really counts.
But
why is Mary the woman of silence? Firstly, because she is a woman of few words. She speaks just 4 times in the Gospel. At the angel's announcement, when she intones the Magnificat, when she finds Jesus in the temple, and at Cana in Galilee. Then, after advising the servants at the wedding to listen to the only word that counts, she remains silent forever. But her silence is not just the absence of words. It is not the emptiness of noise, nor is it the result of a particular asceticism of sobriety. It is instead the theological shell of a presence, the shell of a fullness, the womb that holds the Word. One of the last verses of the Epistle to the Romans offers us the interpretive figure of Mary's silence. It speaks of Jesus Christ as the revelation of the mystery kept silent for eternal ages. Christ, mystery silenced, hidden. That is it, secret, literally shrouded in silence. In other words, the Word of God in the womb of eternity was wrapped in silence. Entering the womb of history, he could have no other bandages, and Mary offered herself to him with her person.
A man went to a cloistered monk. He asked him, "What do you ever learn from your life of silence?" The monk was drawing water from a well and said to his visitor, "Look down the well. What do you see?" The man looked into the well and said, "I see nothing." After a while, in which he remained perfectly still, the monk said to the visitor, "Look now. What do you see in the well?" The man obeyed and answered, "Now I see myself. I mirror myself in the water." The monk said, "You see, when I immerse the bucket, the water is agitated. Now, however, the water is calm. This is the experience of silence. Man sees himself."
Hola a todos, mi nombre es Diego Genes.
Hi everybody, my name is Diego Genes. I'm sending you these greetings from Asunción, the capital of Paraguay, a small country in South America, but with a powerful Salesian presence. I was asked to take part in this novena in honor of Mary Help of Christians, and it's truly a privilege and a pleasure for me to do so. My Salesian story begins practically from birth, because I was born in a neighborhood very close to the first Salesian work in Paraguay. So back then, my family was very devoted to Mary Help of Christians and also to St. John Bosco. My father and my grandfather were past pupils of that Salesian school. My vocation began at the end of high school. A year after I graduated, I traveled to Mexico for a congress of Salesian past pupils. While I was in Mexico, in the city of Tlaxcala, I decided that I wanted to stay connected to the Salesian family and to work with the Past Pupils Association. And so I joined as a member of the National Federation. After a few years, I became the vice president, and I ended up becoming the president of the National Federation of Past Pupils in Paraguay. I have always had the honor of working closely with the World Confederation of Salesian Past Pupils as an animator for America in 2004 and also in 2005. I'm also married to a Salesian past pupil, my lovely bride Claudia, and our children are also past pupils of the Salesian work of Monsignor Lasagna. And so the message I want to leave with you is this. I was fascinated by Don Bosco from the very beginning of my Salesian experience. The playground, the friendships, the way they taught lessons in the classroom, all of the sporting events, and of course, music. How I love music. And from there, well, my story just developed. And what I can tell you is this. A vocation is what one does with the heart, without expecting to receive anything in return. This is the key, the heart. That's what unites the many people working at various levels of the Salesian family. The month of Mary is a very special time of year for all of us who are part of the Salesian family. It's like taking a spiritual pause so we can all come home. The month of May is when we return to Mary, our mother, our teacher, the one who has always done everything for us, as Don Bosco loved to remind us. And so I would like to invite you all during this month of Mary to trust deeply in her, to go home spiritually, and to renew your commitment to her, which is so necessary for us as lay people. Yes, we lay people, we need to be the salt of the earth. Our Salesian education has left us with a great and beautiful spiritual inheritance. And so let's make the most of this, and let's give the best of ourselves. I leave you with these words from one of our favorite Salesian songs here in Paraguay. Don Bosco, we will stay with you until our last breath. And so thank you very much. It's been a pleasure sharing these thoughts with you.
Hasta luego.
Prayer. Holy Mary, Woman of Silence, lead us back to the source of peace. Children of noise, we want to mask the insecurity that torments us, relying on our endless saying. Make us understand that only when we have kept silence will God be able to speak. Holy Mary, Woman of Silence, admit us into your school. Keep us away from the noise fair in which we risk dizzying ourselves, bordering on dissociation. Preserve us from the noise of useless news, which makes us deaf to the good news. Persuade us that only in silence do the great things of life ripen. Conversion, love, sacrifice, death. One last thing we want to ask you, sweet Mother. You who experienced, like Christ on the cross, the silence of God, do not turn away from our side in the hour of trial.